When you're planning your negotiation, you want to make sure you understand who has a say in you getting what you want. And the reason why this is important is because you want to make sure that you are negotiating with the actual decision maker. What I don't want to have happen to you is you end up sort of negotiating as a game of telephone. So let's imagine that you work for a really big bureaucratic company and you're having a conversation with your boss about increasing your salary, but it's actually really HR that kind of pulls the strings and has the final approval here. If you're talking to your boss, you could be an amazing negotiator, but what really matters is how well your boss then goes and makes that case to HR. And if your boss is a terrible negotiator or some of your amazing points get totally lost in translation, you might find that even though you've done an amazing job here, because this relationship went so sideways, you don't actually get what you want. And so, we're going to use the oldest sales trick in the book, which is always be talking to the person who can make a decision. Now, if you're in the kind of scenario that I'm illustrating here, where your boss is not the decision maker and HR is, you want to be dealing with them both. Ideally, you want to be multi-threading all of your negotiations and dealing with every single person who has any amount of say. But if you're in the kind of opposite situation where, maybe a boss 2 levels above you has got more decision-making power, you might, influence them by talking to them directly, but you might also influence them by talking to HR and by talking to your boss and having all the people who feed into that discussion with that boss 2 levels up be on your side and making it work. So it's really important as you're planning your negotiation to map out who all the decision makers are and make sure that you're in contact with them and getting them on your side. Because at the end of the day, the more people that you have saying yes when it's a group decision, and the more contact you have with the ultimate decision maker, the more power you have to actually get the thing that you want. All right, I hope that's a helpful tip. If you want any more help with your negotiation, of course, you can always find me over at wimdy.com/negotiation.